Today I'm going to teach you a little bit about improvised acting. Hi everyone, my name is Natalie Kreft. I'm an improviser and a sketch actor and a graduate of Baldwin Wallace University. I graduated in 2016 with a Bachelor of Arts in Theater, and I currently reside in Chicago and am a graduate of the Second City Conservatory. So a lot of improvised acting is done with a scene partner or multiple people. And a really big rule to keep in mind is the rule of yes and. If you know anything about improv, you maybe have heard about this, but what it is at its core is really just agreeing with your scene partner. So if your scene partner starts off the scene by saying, look, a giant spaceship, as a good scene partner and a good improviser, you would say yes and blank. So for example, you could say yes, and we should try to sneak in there and see what's going on. And that really just helps move your scene forward. If you keep refuting what your partner says, you don't have anywhere for the scene to go. And a lot of people ask, well, does that mean I can't say no in any improv scenes? Well, of course not. If that's true to your character, then that's what you should go with. What we really want to focus on is both characters being truthful in the scene you're currently doing. Just like a scripted actor would do, you want to be listening to your partner, reacting to your partner in a truthful way. And that truth is where you're going to actually find your comedy. And it's those moments of truth that you can manipulate and stretch and illuminate to really get those funny moments that are really going to catch the audience's attention. Of course, we have a little bit of structure that really helps us get into an improv scene. So we always kind of need a who, what, when, and where, right? I mean, any story we're telling, if we don't have those elements, the people listening or our audience isn't really gonna know what we're talking about. So it's really good to have that setting as your base. That might come from the first person who talks in the scene. It might take a few lines to get there, but as long as you're listening to each other, agreeing, you can create that world together. And it allows you to get ready for the really fun part, which is the game of the scene. The game of the scene is the interesting, weird, crazy part of the scene. And a lot of people look at it as the first funny thing we see. So obviously that's a very important part of improv. So for example, if the beginning of your scene is sneaking into a spaceship, the game of the scene might be you realizing that you and your friend have no idea how to, work a spaceship, how to make it blast off, how to use any of the buttons. And that's a good way to really get things to change and to really get the audience's attention. The next thing you'd have to do is then heighten that situation, or a lot of people call it raising the stakes. So once that game is established, kind of that goofy joke, then you've got to have things that really exaggerate it. So either you realize that there's way more in this spaceship to work with than you realize, or maybe you add more characters to the scene, such as aliens who might have been stuck in the ship. That would be, a pretty crazy thing to discover in your scene. And that's just really going to mix things up and really give your characters new things to explore. The last thing you really want to do is have really that second turning point that turns into either a resolution or an end. So the more things that happen in your scene, like the aliens coming into the ship, the more your characters are going to have to adjust with different tactics. Maybe they're going to come to a realization themselves, or a lot of times a big kind of explosion is given by a character. They reveal something, a secret about themselves, or something that they've been wanting to tell the other person. And that really gets us to an end point and sometimes even a solution. And finally, at the end of the scene, you really want to return to that game or that fun that you were having with your scene partner, because that's going to remind your audience of the fun and where it started, and also give them kind of a button of comedy at the end. So Improvising scenes is a great way for scripted actors to work through their scenes, to really come up with new things and really discover new opportunities with their scene partner. And for everyone else, it's just a really fun way to work with other people. I mean, we as humans, as actors, have amazing imaginations. So when you're starting these scenes, don't be afraid about thinking of the funniest thing in the world. Like we said, the truth is what's going to bring about the comedy. And a lot of people, me included, starting off with improv would always be really in their head, just thinking about what the next thing to do is and what should I do, and that's not going to be funny, or this person's not going to get that. And yeah, that is something that really just takes practice in order to be able to trust yourself. Taking an improv class is an amazing way to get out of your head and just meet new people. You'll be able to just figure out what you want your scenes to be about. But I would just say overall, don't put too much stress on yourself. Have trust in yourself, have trust in your partner, and really just have fun overall. All right, I have my friend Sam here to help me improvise a little scene. What's really fun about improvising for an audience is you can ask them for a suggestion of what they want the scene to be about. So you can ask them for a relationship, or maybe an occupation for the people in your scene, a location, and sometimes you can even ask for an inanimate object you could find in your house. I like that one because it's fun and different, and a lot of times the audience is not sure how you're gonna pull a scene together from that. So in this little cup, I have a few inanimate objects. I'm gonna pick one out at random and we are gonna get started. All right, it's blender. So Mom, I think that the Ninja is gonna be better than the Vitamix because I've watched so many YouTube videos. I'm not gonna steer you wrong when it comes to this.
Madison, I'm concerned.
About the price? I mean, once we use the Bed Bath & Beyond coupon, it's gonna be like the same.
No, I think that you're avoiding the real issue. You're just fixating on appliances like they're gonna solve all of your problems. When you and I both know that what we really need is a tropical getaway vacation.
Is that why you recommended the smoothies? Mom, if you wanted someone to make you smoothies on a beach, we could have just done that instead of having to go shopping for one.
I just don't think that you've given the idea of us going on a cruise a fair shot. Okay? I'm gonna be 50 this year, and I wanna go on one good trip.
I know, you've been talking about the cruises forever. I just, you've been really busy with your job, and I just didn't want to stress you out with having to put a trip together.
This kind of thing doesn't stress me out, baby. This kind of
Mom,
thing.
don't pull my hand. Mom, we're in the middle of Bed Bath & Beyond.
I just wish that you and I were as close as we were when you were at school.
I know, but you know what? Then let's spend this Bed Bath & Beyond shopping spree on some fun beach stuff so we can get ready for the cruise.
Do you mean it?
I do! Let's get some beach balls!
Okay.
And scene. Try this out for yourself, and I hope you have some fun with it. So, I hope these little tips and tricks really got you excited about improvised acting. I would encourage you all at home with family and friends to practice this in a COVID-safe way, of course. And I hope you enjoy the show. Thank you.
If you liked this video, be sure to log on to the bar's virtual lobby by clicking the link in the description. There you will find all of the bar's educational content, including activities like the freestyle name generator and the rap map, which is a fill-in-the-blank template to help you write your own rap.